Pwede pa rin pala yun.
Sir?
Today on Rappler, Filipino peacekeepers escape Al-Qaeda allies in Syria.
This is part of the service. Hindi pwedeng iway na lang, sorry, bumaba na lang kayo dito. Pakita lang ninyo na may malasakit naman kayo.
Senators grill transport officials on Metro Manila's railway system. And democracy activists in Hong Kong call for civil disobedience against China. Hello, I'm Natasha Gutierrez. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The crisis is over for Filipinos in the Golan Heights. The standoff between the peacekeepers and Al-Nusra Front ended midnight Sunday at 5 a.m. Manila time. Al-Nusra is a group allied with Al-Qaeda. Under cover of darkness, about 40 Filipino soldiers evacuated Position 68 and walked 2 kilometers to another United Nations post carrying the ammunition rebels wanted them to surrender. Philippine generals burst into laughter and applause as they got news of the escape. In a video call with Philippine platoon leader Captain Nilo Ramones, they joked around.
Kung gagawa ng pelikula, sinong gusto mong artista na gagampanan sa'yo? Naganap na artista mo, yung in the person of Captain Ramones. Ah?
Philippine Military Chief General Pio Katapang calls it the greatest escape, which came after 7 hours of heavy firefight with Syrian rebels. All Filipinos in the Golan Heights are safe, but the rebels still hold 44 Fijian peacekeepers. The Philippine military later reveals the Filipino troops defy the orders of the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force Commander Iqbal Singh Singha. Katapang says Singha wanted the Filipinos to surrender their firearms. The UN was negotiating for the release of the Fijian peacekeepers through back channels. But the Syrian rebels insisted the peacekeepers surrender their firearms first. The Filipinos refused, triggering a standoff. The Philippine generals say there was no guarantee the rebels will not take the Filipino peacekeepers hostage. Katapang now demands a probe, saying Singha's decisions put the lives of the peacekeepers in danger.
Kasi gustong isave ni UNDOF Commander yung PG at the expense of the Philippines. Hindi natin kasalanan na hostage sila. What I was telling the UNDOF Commander is save first the Philippines and then we will help save the PGians later.
Authorities discover a vehicle loaded with explosives at the parking lot of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 Monday. The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, says a white Toyota Revo was found with improvised explosives and banned firecrackers wrapped around gasoline-filled bottles. The NBI says it also found a manifesto from the group believed to be behind the bombing attempt. It contains a plan to bomb several locations in Metro Manila, such as SM Mall of Asia, the Chinese Embassy, and the Office of Real Estate Developer DMCI. The NBI arrests 4 suspects believed to be part of a right-wing group unsatisfied with the government's action over the maritime dispute with China. One suspect says the plan was not to bomb the airport, but the offices in the manifest. The entire NAIA complex is placed under full security alert after the incident. Senators grill transport officials on the safety and operational efficiency of the Metro Rail Transit, or MRT-3. A major accident in Taft Station on August 13 that injured 36 people triggered the probe, chaired by Senator Grace Poe. Poe rode the train Friday in preparation for the hearing. She experienced long lines, crowds, and non-functioning escalators and turnstiles. Poe proposes that the Transportation Department issue vouchers for passengers forced to disembark due to glitches. She also suggests deploying MRT buses as backup and providing umbrellas for those lining up outside stations.
This is part of the service. Hindi pwedeng tiway na lang, sorry, bumaba na lang kayo dito. Pakita lang ninyo na may malasakit naman kayo. Ipakita naman ninyo sa kanila na habang wala pa yung pinapangako ninyong mga tren at pag-aayos ng mga TRO ninyo, meron kayong ginagawa. Gusto ko lang naman malaman kahit na papano na makikita ng ating mga kababayan, ay, may malasakit ang gobyerno natin. Kasi sobra-sobra na...
Nearly 600,000 people ride the MRT daily, far beyond its capacity of 360,000 passengers. Apart from service interruptions, some MRT terminals have non-functioning elevators, escalators, and ticket dispensers. Senator Bam Aquino asks transport officials how the MRT got to that condition.
Ano yung ideal waiting time based on anong meron tayong cars, ano yung kakayahan po, number of people, ano po yung ating target waiting time?
Sa ngayon po, ito po ay yung 30-40 minutes na waiting time, ito po ay dahil sa kadahilanan po na ito lang po yung available na number of trains natin at ito lang po yung allowable na speed limit.
So this is the best that we can do right now. In short, sorry na lang muna. 40 minutes talaga yung ating waiting time, no?
Responding to the public's challenge for government officials to experience the daily commute during rush hour, the president's spokespersons took the MRT earlier Monday. Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Abigail Valte posts photos of her and Presidential Spokesperson Edwin Lasherda's ride. Valte says the entire experience from lining up at the North Avenue station to arriving at Taft took about an hour and 20 minutes. In a tweet, she says an escalator in one of the stations wasn't working. The Senate implements the 90-day suspension of Minority Leader Juan Ponce Enrile Monday. The order for Enrile's suspension comes from the Anti-Graft Court Sandigan Bayan, which is hearing the plunder and graft charges against 3 senators, Enrile, Bong Revilla, and Jinggoy Estrada. They are accused of diverting public money to fake organizations controlled by businesswoman Janet Napoles. Senate President Franklin Drilon says Enrile is not allowed to file bills, sign committee reports, and receive salaries during this period. The Sandigan Bayan has yet to issue the suspension order of Senators Estrada and Revilla. Retired Major General Jovito Palparan wants his former comrades to be his jailers. The former congressman turned fugitive files a motion to be detained by the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. Earlier, Palparan asked to be detained at the National Bureau of Investigation headquarters instead of the Bulacan Provincial Jail. That request was denied. He now wants to be transferred to the Philippine Army Custodial Center in Fort Bonifacio or at the detention center of the intelligence agency of the AFP in Camp Aguinaldo. Earlier, the prosecution said that being a retired general, Palparan should not be placed under military custody. Palparan and 3 others are charged with the 2006 kidnapping and serious illegal detention of students Karen Empeno and Sherilyn Cadapan. Witnesses say the young women were tortured, raped, and held under the orders of the former general. He was arrested on August 12 after nearly 3 years in hiding. Veteran Filipino actor Mark Hill, or Rafael Eigenman in real life, dies Monday morning. He was 52. Hill died of liver cirrhosis. In a statement, the family said Hill had liver cancer, but he did not want it revealed to the public. The family says it is with much sorrow that we announce that he passed away this morning at exactly 8 a.m. He died peacefully in his sleep in the arms of his wife, Maricar, and surrounded by family. We all request that the public please respect his wish and allow us to mourn this passing accordingly. They add, for the outpouring of love for Ralph that we've received on his behalf, we thank you. Hill is the son of veteran actors Eddie Mesa and Rosemary Hill. His siblings include actors Michael de Mesa and Cherry Hill. He leaves behind his 6 children, Gabby, Timmy, Andy, Maxine, Stevie, and Ira. Hill rose to fame in the movie Batch 81, directed by Mike De Leon, where he played a neophyte initiated in a fraternity. Democracy activists promised to start an era of civil disobedience in Hong Kong after China announced new rules in the city's next leadership election. The Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, or NPC, says Hong Kong's next chief executive will be elected by popular vote in 2017, but candidates must be selected by Beijing. Democracy advocates hit the announcement, saying this means Beijing will exclude opponents and choose only candidates sympathetic to China. Activists promised to stage small acts of civil disobedience and threatened to take over the city's central financial district. During a meeting with Hong Kong officials Monday, activists heckle NPC member Li Fei, who said China will not tolerate a local leader who is disloyal to the mainland. Britain handed Hong Kong back to China in 1997 under a one-country, two-systems agreement. Since then, a pro-Beijing committee has chosen the city's leaders. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 8, Hillary Clinton makes one of the strongest statements in the racial tension in Ferguson. Clinton says Americans cannot ignore the inequities that persist in our justice system. Washington Post blogger Nia Malika Henderson says Clinton acknowledges that blacks get treated differently than whites. Progressives praise Clinton's strong statements but question her motives. One tweet calls it a careful triangulation and calculation driven by political interest rather than genuine feeling. And at number 9, should satirical articles and essays come with a warning label? Netizens debate the pros and cons after Facebook began an experiment tagging satirical articles coming out in people's related news feeds. Some say it's a good idea, with one user saying too many people can't tell what satire is. Others say it is a disservice. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Gilas Pilipinas is down 0-2 in the FIBA World Championship, but the record doesn't show how the Philippines is keeping up with the best basketball teams in the world. Rodneil Quiteles is in Spain and files this report.
The Philippines is back in the world basketball stage after 36 long years. Against the fourth best European team Croatia, Gilas puts up a gallant stand, pushing the game to overtime before losing by 3 points, 81-78. The following game, Gilas was up against a team ranked 5th best in the world, Greece. Head coach Chot Reyes knew it was not going to be easy.
Oh yeah, we knew coming in that Greece was going to be tougher and quicker than Croatia. We had no illusions about, we played well last night, so maybe we'll catch Greece off guard tonight. We had no illusions. We knew they would come in very well prepared.
Gilas defends against the Greeks, but also struggles to sink their shots. Leaning heavily on naturalized big man Andre Bloch, who leads the team in scoring and rebounding despite an injury. Forward Gabe Norwood says, the big man has a big heart.
I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less. His heart is with us, and he shows it out there on the court. He plays every possession as hard as he can.
Gilas lost to Greece, 82-70, and will face Argentina next. The team regarded as the best in Gilas' bracket. There are tougher challenges ahead, but with the support of a large Filipino crowd in Spain, the team vows to give it all they have.
From the start, we're foolish enough to dream that we can compete with these teams, so just be foolish over it.
Play to the end, and I think that's just our culture. That's what we know how to do. We just keep fighting.
Rodneil Quiteles, Rappler, Spain.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories with the most clicks. Let's check out today's mood navigator. The mood navigator today has many different colors. Let's see, the one yellow circle right here was one of our headlines today. Explosives found in car at NAIA 3 parking lot. This has 59% of readers feeling afraid, while 31% say they're angry. Over to the left, the only dark green circle, the day Gilas Pilipinas arrived. This has 78% of readers feeling inspired, and 7% are happy. This story, of course, is about the Philippine basketball team competing in Spain. And right in the middle, although there are only 2 blue circles, this circle is the biggest one. Veteran actor Mark Hill dies. This has 84% of people feeling sad, and 3% say they don't care. All these stories contribute to the mood of the day. Today, most people are sad. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Monday, September 1, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel in our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Natasha Gutierrez. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.
Ano, sir?